Good evening, dear sisters and brothers. Welcome to the evening session of Being Heartful Every Day with Swadhyaya. As we continue reflecting on the theme of prejudice, today we look at its most subtle form, the kind that hides beneath good intentions and habits of thought and feelings. Often we may not carry conscious prejudice against others, yet subtle layers of conditioning continue to influence how we perceive, respond, and relate. These may appear as preferences, comfort zones, or quiet judgments disguised as opinions. They create an unseen distance not only between people, but also between the heart and its own higher nature. In heartfulness practice, we learn that the root of prejudice lies in the ego's attachment to identity. The ego seeks security in separation. This is me, that is you. And this builds walls around the self. Through meditation, these walls softens. The heart begins to expand beyond self definition, and we start to sense the unity beneath diversity. Daji beautifully reminds us that the heart becomes universal only when it is free from the noise of distinction. When we meditate, clean, and live in remembrance, we return again and again to that center of stillness where there is no other. In that silence, the need to defend, compare, or judge dissolves. What remains is compassion, natural, vast, and unconditioned. To overcome prejudice is not merely to change an opinion, it is to transform the very way we perceive reality. Judgment divides, understanding unites. Every time we choose to understand before reacting, we align ourselves with the movement of the heart. In daily life, this awareness is tested constantly in workplaces, families, communities. When faced with difference, the instinct may be to resist or withdraw. But the heartfulness way invites us to pause and listen, not only to the other person, but also to the echo within ourselves. What is being triggered? What impression is surfacing for purification? The practice of cleaning allows these hidden tendencies to rise and be released. As the heart becomes purer, it stops projecting, it begins to receive. We start to sense that behind every viewpoint lies a story, behind every behavior lies a reason. And in seeing others as human, not categories, we come closer to the divine. This is how the journey from prejudice to understanding unfolds, gently, inwardly, through awareness and love. Dear sisters and brothers, let us continue to invite our friends, families, communities to experience heartfulness through the master classes and through the daily BHED sessions. And you will find the additional reading material as well as the videos of Revered Daji on this theme, which can be accessed under the tab 26th October under Sunday. And these are the aspects for contemplation for all days of the weeks and can be viewed by scrolling up and down on the Heartfulness app under the Aspects tab. We can make the use of these additional reading material to deepen our understanding on the theme of prejudice. We will now move ahead and do our inspirational reading, which is from the article by beloved Daji titled Antidotes to Prejudice. We have read a few sections and we are now going to resume from the new paragraph. What is opposite of prejudice? Let us focus on the ability to judge correctly without any bias or any preconceptions. This is where the importance of discrimination comes in. Viveka, which is the first step in yoga. If we cannot discriminate, we will remain prejudiced all our lives. So we have to cultivate that gem, that value in our psyche, and it demands a sufficient level of openness of heart and conviction. When do we stop judging? Ask a mother, will she judge her child? The trick is hidden in the affectionate arms of a mother's hug. It is only to love, and then having the courage to follow our own convictions. It is simple to talk like this, but when we are actually facing real life situations, often our courage fails. Openness arises out of conviction. In turn, conviction has its origin in positive discrimination, and that too has its origin in a pure heart. If we reverse this process, it is the same heart that can become a fertile ground for prejudice. Fear plays its role, especially when it comes to discrimination. Who can discriminate when they are fearful? Open mindedness promotes free thinking, whereas dogmatism or prejudice cannot. What is open mindedness? In the beginning of To Kill a Mockingbird, the three children were so happy, conveying the message that prejudice is dissolved when you become childlike. Those children lost their innocence when they were exposed to racism. Until then, they were blissfully enjoying life. So, the exact opposite of prejudice is a childlike attitude of freshness towards all the approaches in life, a positive attitude, open mindedness. Children have no prejudice, they are simple and pure in mind and heart. They receive any and every impression, whether good or bad, from the world outside. It is only when they grow older that they sort these impressions and try to retain only the pleasurable or good ones. At such time, prejudice sets in and open mindedness bids farewell. If somehow we are able to retain the former attitude of wonder throughout life, we may be called open minded. Humility and purity are the keys. Purity brings about openness of heart. Openness creates free interaction with all. Without purity, there is no unity, and without unity, there will always be prejudice. There are three main categories of discrimination. Discrimination of the correct type is inspired by the heart, as the heart cannot give wrong signals. When something is not right, the heart becomes slightly heavier. You must have felt it. The heart is able to determine what is right and wrong, what is to be done or not done, and what is one's duty or dharma, and what is non duty or adharma. Self willed, desire based discrimination is always erroneous because it discriminates with the prejudiced mind in order to serve its own egoistic purposes. Dear sisters and brothers, let us take a pause here from the reading and let the wisdom of these words flow and settle into our hearts. Let the words open your awareness to the subtleties within. We will now offer the universal prayer and also prepare ourselves for Friday 9 p.m. meditation with beloved Taji. All brothers and sisters are being filled with love and devotion, and real faith is growing stronger in them. सभी भाई बहन प्रेम और भक्ति से भर रहे हैं और उनमें सच्ची श्रद्धा दृढ़ होती जा रही है। May this universal prayer awaken in every heart the humility to see beyond self created boundaries. May we grow in understanding, accepting all beings as reflections of the same source. And may the light of love illuminate our perceptions so that no trace of prejudice remains, only oneness, peace, and compassion. Dear sisters and brothers, as you prepare for the rest tonight, take a few quiet moments to observe your inner state. Were there moments today when you found yourselves subtly categorizing, comparing, or labeling, even in thought? Do not resist or feel guilt. Simply recognize these impressions and offer them to the Master. Let remembrance replace resistance and gratitude replace judgment. And before sleep, offer your bedtime prayer sincerely, allowing peace to settle like dew on a freshly cleansed garden, preparing the heart for a new dawn of openness. Dear sisters and brothers, thank you for joining this evening session, and we look forward to your presence for the morning session tomorrow at 6 a.m. Until then, may peace, remembrance, and the silent grace of the great Master remain with you through the night. Wishing you all a very good night.